What's up everybody, Parker here, and I am chilling right now in St. Louis, Missouri, about to head out for the day and go do a little bit of exploring. Yesterday I kept the camera in the bag. It was a little bit windy, a little bit freezing, and a lot rainy, so I ended up keeping the camera in the bag a lot and not having it too exposed to the elements. I realized that I bought a weather sealed camera just for this, but I'm still a little bit timid about bringing it out in like full-on rain right now. So we ended up going, because it was raining, to the City Museum in St. Louis, which is one of the coolest places I have ever been. It's really like a big giant game of chutes and ladders. There's slides and all these crazy like walkways and crawlways and ladders and swirlies and swirl ups and swirl downs and all these different themed things. Everything is made out of rebar. To be completely honest with you, I am a little shocked that there isn't like a safety hazard issue, because this place is awesome, and honestly, if I were a kid, I would think this is better than Disneyland. I feel like a kid at heart, and I thought that was better than Disneyland. It was a giant playground that was hours and hours of fun. I played on it for 4 hours and I didn't even see everything. I just honestly gassed out. We couldn't go up to the roof or to all the outside areas because they were closed because all the weather was really bad. And I still feel like I only saw maybe 70-80% of the thing. So if you're ever in St. Louis, definitely check out the City Museum. I thought it was amazing, and I would definitely come back here, just to go to that attraction alone. So today, since it's actually supposed to be a little bit warmer, a little bit sunnier, I'm gonna go check out Forest Park. I did a little bit of research previously before we came out here, and it looks like Forest Park is a big, giant park with a whole ton of attractions. I think there is an art museum, a zoo, some like gardens and stuff like that, and I'm gonna bring the camera and check it out, show off what St. Louis has to offer. I believe the zoo has been rated best of, or like second best in the nation for a little while, so hopefully there's some awesome stuff there to go check out. Can't wait to bring you along with me. In one of those lucid dreams, I walk within your maze. My head is dizzy like the purple haze. I don't know where we're going, but the clues that you are throwing are leading me back home to you. 'Cause you got the feeling like I'm lucid dreaming about the fire. Yeah, 'cause I can't believe that I get to have you close on an empty street. So out here at the St. Louis Zoo, ended up walking in, and believe it or not, this whole thing is free. They have a few paid exhibits, like things that are a little bit extra, but honestly, just this zoo is huge. It's amazing. All these habitats and things are super great. I'm over here by the giraffes right now. Buddy over there is chomping on something. They all seem to be food thieves and stealing food from the neighboring exhibit, which is kind of hilarious to me. But the weather turned out great, and enjoying the zoo so far. Hey, I don't get what this is about. You got my head spinning on my shoulders. I feel it burn inside of my chest. See the lines as they blur out. I can feel it knocking me out. Alright, so we're about 2/3 of the way through the zoo, and this place is massive. I was just looking at my step counter, and it looks like I walked about 2.5 miles through this place. It feels like 3.5, but only about 2/3 of the way through. We're kind of in the African area right now. I don't know if you can see the cool little statues over there in the distance. Definitely recommend this zoo. If you're over in the St. Louis area, it is free. It is massive, and it is really well taken care of. There is tons of amazing like trees and foliage in the area.
A lot of the exhibits are really large and like pretty impressive for a zoo. You know, not every single one is huge because like space is a concern and money, I'm sure. But overall, it's like a beautiful naturescape. They really divided all the different areas so that they're kind of like blocked out visually and you feel like you're in a different area. And I really like it. So far, my favorite has been the giraffes still because they were just fun and active, but we still have a little bit to go.
All right, so back from St. Louis, just got back yesterday, and overall, I am really happy with my trip. I went thinking, it's gonna be a boring little Midwestern town, and it was not at all. It really, really, really impressed me. A few of the things that I think were super amazing about St. Louis were the fact that they had so many free things to do for people. I went only to do 2 of them, and the quality of the free things to do was pretty mind-blowing. We talked to a bunch of different people, Lyft drivers, people at restaurants, etc., asking them about their favorite things, and everyone had a list of things to do. So that overall is really impressive about the city, and it's definitely something to be said about how much the city has invested in everyone being a part of the city and being part of the community there. I had high hopes of going and doing a bunch of different things in Forest Park, which is like the really big park kind of just outside the city center, and I only made it to the zoo. The zoo is like a 5th or a 6th in the corner of the park, and I ended up going and trekking around that for about 4.5 hours or so and still only saw about 90% of the zoo. So I didn't make it to any of the rest of Forest Park and ended up doing other things after that. So there's still a ton of things for me to do on my next trip. So overall, thumbs up for St. Louis. I really thought it was a cool spot. Lots of amazing things to do. The food was really good, probably the best barbecue, and definitely the best chicken wings I've ever had. I'm looking forward to my next trip to be able to explore some more.